Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm, as always, Darth Devious, bringing you another video review. This time, from KFC Toys, it's Transistor, their version of Masterpiece Blaster. And I gotta say, I really like this figure a lot. I was on the fence about him at first, but then I ended up getting him, and I haven't been disappointed. See some product shots. Comes with a whole bunch of different stuff, which we'll go over in a few minutes. EAVI metal. Don't know what that's supposed to be. Don't care. You can open it up. You got nice artwork here of Transistor in both his modes, and that's where he would be. His instructions are back there. Yeah, get that out. And we'll bring this guy in. And this is kind of cool because, you know, he's just about the same size as G1 Blaster in this mode. He's a little chunkier than G1 Blaster, but, you know, still, it's really nicely done, nicely painted. I love this metallic red that's on him. It just makes him pop. And it's done so well. And I know there's actually, this must be like the second production run they did, because the first production run had problems with the paint chipping all over the place. His little partner, Hi-Fi, who's inside him right now, which is supposed to be, I think, Rewind. He had die-cast parts where the paint was coming off. I know in MGo's video that happened on camera. There's stuff just coming off of him. But I'm happy to say that this must be the second production run that I got, because I don't have any paint chipping. Hi-Fi is actually made out of plastic, so I don't have any problems with him. There's some cool molded stuff on here, dials and things. I know there's a repro label set out for it, and it really makes this guy pop even more. I might get that sometime in the future. But yeah, you can see here he's got some controls on the side. Even has jacks for headphones. Yeah, just really cool. On the back, there's just his back. I mean, just some lovely molded detail that's painted in nicely. I don't know if you can see that. And just look at that. That's just a nice attention to detail, because you don't really see that in robot mode, because a lot of this folds up and covers it up. The underside's kind of ugly, but in here there's space for you to store his weapons. It's not the easiest thing to do. I'm not going to try it. I actually was trying to figure out again how to do it. I did it once. I'm not going to do it again. But, yeah. It's really nicely done. Really cool. And I did add a little Autobot symbol there. He needed it. If I get the repro labels, it'll get replaced until then. And the only button that works on him is the eject button. And it ejects his tape. It does it fairly well. It's not as good as Masterpiece Soundwave, but it does do it fairly well. And yes, he can hold more than one tape. He's got that same gimmick with the, you know, he got the yellow switch back here, and just bing, bing, there you go. And take a look at Hi-Fi real quick. He's actually pretty cool. The only other KFC things I have are Bad Bat and the black repaint called Black Bat cassette, and that's not too bad, but this just seems like a more solid cassette. And it's nicely painted. Some nice gold paint there for the robot mode. This is nice for, you know, the cassette mode. Hides things fairly nicely. I like that. I like that a lot. So, yeah. They come with a lot of stuff. You know, they both come with cards. I really don't care about these cards that things come with nowadays. You get these two speakers, which are weapons for robot mode for him, because Blaster did that in one of the episodes of G1 Transformers when he was fighting Soundwave. So that's cool that they're included. You get little gold guns for Hi-Fi. don't fit in his hands too well. They're a little tiny bit loose, but he still holds them. You get 2 alternate heads for hi-fi. See if I can zoom in on these, because these are tiny. And there's slight differences on his head. Come on, focus. There we go. Slight variations of the visor and the head crest and stuff. Not the easiest thing to see, but trust me. You also get an alternate head for Transistor, and this is more like the G1 toy, which I like the head that's on him now. The head that he had when he was in the box, it's more like the cartoon. That's the blaster head I want to use, so that's the one staying on there. He gets 2 of these guns, which are modeled after his G1 gun. Now, his G1 gun, he only had 1. Here he has 2. They're identical. This folds up for when you store them on the back. There's pegs on the back that peg in here. I just can't remember which direction they go. Sue me. Don't care. And you get a cassette box for hi-fi. And also you get, this is a light piping bar for the head that's on here now. Right now I've got the painted eyes in there. I like the painted eyes better. I have had this in there, and it works okay. It's decent light piping. Try not to blind you guys, but it works okay for a light piping source. But I just feel that the painted eyes that are on him stand out a little bit more. So, getting all this out of the way, I'm going to get these 2 transformed and we'll take a look at their robot mode. So I'll be right back. Alright, here we have Transistor and Hi-Fi in their robot modes, and we'll take a look at Hi-Fi real quick. As you see, I got Transistor in a really cool pose. You see he's got articulation in his head, and his head can just pop off, and that's how you swap the heads. The head that's on here right now, if I can get it to zoom in, is pretty much accurate to the G1 cartoon, which is why I left this one on there. The other one are more like the toys. And he's holding his guns, but like I said, they're really loose in his hand. You can see that one's wiggling back and forth. This one's not so much. The gun in his right hand seems to hold better. He does have a decent amount of articulation. He's got a ball joint at his shoulders, another ball joint underneath that. He's got a double elbow, and he's got a ball jointed wrist. No waist. No, he does have a little bit of an ab crunch, but I think that's more for transformation. He's got a ball joint at his hips. He's got a double jointed knee. And he's got ball joints at his feet. So you can get him in some cool poses too. And he holds them really nice. So they're both ready for action. Move him off to the side for a minute. If you want to see how big he really is, here's Masterpiece Bumblebee. And, you know, he's smaller than Bumblebee, but not too small. It's pretty cool. He fits in there. Get there, Bumblebee. We'll bring in the big guy here. As you can see, he's got a lot of joints to get some good poses. I'll bring this camera up a little bit so we can take a better look at him. Alright. So as you can see, I've got the G1 style head on there. And like I said, I've got the blue painted eyes instead of the light piping eyes. And I think that looks really cool. And I figured I'd show you guys what it looks like with one of the speakers in there. You can take that off, and there's just a peg right there that they peg into. But you gotta take pretty much this whole arm assembly apart to get to it, because you gotta take this part off, and you gotta flip this up, flip that up, flip that up, flip out his hand, and when you put his hand in, you want to make sure that this is facing up as it goes in, otherwise it'll get stuck. That has happened to me before. So then you gotta put everything back in the right way. Lock that. Lock that. Bring this around. And then this tabs in right there. And now he's got his other hand. Just like that. Yeah. As you can see, he's got a lot of articulation. His head's on one of those like masterpiece swivels, so you get up and down movement and side to side, but no wiggle waggle. It's got full rotation. Goes out nicely. It's got a swivel there. 90-degree elbow, just about. I think that's a double elbow, but I'm not sure. No, maybe. I don't know. It is, but it isn't. It's just enough to get him to 90. All his fingers are articulated, though. He's got those nice KFC articulated hands. So you got a thumb with 3 joints, fingers with all the joints, so you can, you know, you can give a thumbs up and stuff like that. Hey, I'm Blaster, baby. He's got a nice waist swivel. Nice ratchets at the hips. Forward and back. They don't go back that far because he's got a butt plate back there that holds his hips together. So that kind of, you can't really do nothing about that. Nice swivel. He's got a little over 90 at his knee, but that's also a nice ratchet. He has a nice amount of movement in his feet. He's got nice heel spurs that hold him up. So, yeah, he's just ready to rock and roll, baby. Yeah. And if you want to see how he fits with Masterpiece, here he is with MP10. He's pretty much the same size. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I gotta say, this is one I am highly recommending. If you want a Masterpiece blaster, we'll bring Bumblebee in too. Go for this one. It's really cool. You get a lot of cool stuff with it. As long as you get the second production run where they fixed like the paint issues and they fixed hi-fi here, you'll be good to go. So yeah, this is definitely on my recommend list. You guys need to go out and get this figure if you are a fan of Blaster, because I don't think we're going to get a Masterpiece Blaster anytime soon from Takara or Hasbro. This one fits perfectly. He really is cool. Alright? You guys be good. He's too cool. I won't send him after you. But just be good, because he likes it when you're good. And right now he's waiting for his Buddy tracks to be released. But that'll be a review for another day. Later.